Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. Sean Driver, the Red Horde, and the FA Cup round one draw, and we're doing that today. And I see some people are jumping on there. I am in control of the controls. Brendan, it is Thanksgiving in Canada. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you who are here. I'm just waiting to see if the stream ends up connecting me and all is good, or whether we have some sort of hiccup. So let me get through that process. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been entirely in control of things, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting it right. So, how are ya? It's been a while, and I'm looking forward to Saturday. You missed out on a week of games, and now I've got this insatiable itch that needs to be scratched. And as I'm sitting here watching, it looks like we are going live. So, we'll do that. Let me just get everything set up here while we figure it out, and I'll give you the video to start. Welcome, and this is the Red Horde. So a couple things just to start us off here. We've got the live chat running. It's there. Feel free to jump in on that. For those of you who are in Canada, happy Thanksgiving to you, and I hope you've had a wonderful day. And also to those in Wrexham who had the Terry Fox run yesterday. I've received some messages from there. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Brendan, not here. He's got work commitments, and he's given up so much time to the channel to get this thing going and keep it going while I've been moving houses and relocating and packing things up. That I appreciate that. Look, we're here to talk about the FA Cup, and I'll just take a little bit of time for people to jump in and have a chat, let them know they're here. A couple of polls that are up. What do you want from the FA Cup? Obviously, we've got the three competitions. We've got the added flavor of the Welsh teams, and are they going to look at going through the Welsh Cup to try to earn European promotion and competition? I'm not sold on it. Like, to me, yes, it's fun to play in Europe, but we're talking about the third tier level, right? And qualification for it. When you get a chance to play the FA Cup against the heavy hitter teams and all of the history and all of that sort of stuff versus the third tier of Europe, it's different if you're qualifying for the Champions League. It's different if you're really getting into it, but that's not where things are set up. And I don't want to give any reason for those in England to end up screaming any louder, hey, this is what we'd like to do. And I've made that a little bit too big. I might have to do some ninjaing around here. Hey, Sean, big day out. Can't come unless we win too, right? Yes, that is true. That's what I was going to... You're exactly right to that point. When I put it in there, I was like, I was going to have to qualify it as to what is your big day out? Is that Bolton? Is that posh? I don't know who... Birmingham, I guess, would be the biggest day out. But it's always nice. I guess you can read that into the poll as to how you see fit, whether that's you get to the third round. So the first two rounds, League One, League Two, are now joining this competition with those that have qualified from all of the leagues below. There is one Tier 8 team and one potential qualifying Team 8 team, but the Tier 8 team, but the rest are all Tier 7 and above. Chester didn't make it, so that was a possibility. If Ball 56 comes out, I guess we can always ask the question of, I wonder what would happen if... It's amazing what two privileged actors can do to a town. Yeah, I guess, Mika, that's always true. How about two exceptional owners? I mean, the way that I look at the SCMP and even more than that, the financial fair play rules, is they want teams that end up driving marketing, driving funds, driving interest and excitement in the club. And these privileged actors have done that. They've done exactly what the fan-led football review wanted to have done when that document was published 4 or 5 years ago. And so good on them. Blackpool will be a good day out on the piss. I can't criticize Blackpool because one of the favorites to the channel, Sarah's there in Blackpool, and so I'm going to leave that one alone and deal with that. For me, I would like to... This is maybe the first year where the inverse is true, where Wrexham, whenever we've made first round proper, well, I guess maybe not last year, but through the qualifying rounds, it's been with the opportunity to start taking scalps, as it were, start knocking out Goliath. I know League One, League Two is a different thing, but when you're in the National League and you're coming up, it's a different competition. Now, the inverse is true. There are people who will be looking at us and potentially chomping their chips, licking their lips, and trying to get into it. If you want to watch along live, I've posted that in the pin. It's up here somewhere on your screen or down below. Go and click on that and draw that in. For me, I don't know. I've gone through in the descriptions. If you wanted to roll through, there are some interesting balls that are there. 13's got Aaron Hayden playing there. 15, that's Cheltenham Town. That's got Luke Young. I would have added Grimsby, but with Jordan Davis out, not going to do that. Huddersfield, remember us. At home, preferably. For me, John, the rule is even simpler. I don't know. I want a big FA Cup. So yes, I would lean towards home. Second best option for me is the largest, the biggest of the two stadiums. The Pool, and I can bring that up. Let me just flip screens here for a little bit. Just as a reminder, the FA Cup competition, this is the draw that's going to be here. And I'm on the wrong screen to be able to scroll this down, so let me rotate this over and pull this one forward. Live in control you get to watch. So there's the draws. Basically the League 1, League 2 teams are balls 1 through 48, and then after that you start to, if you get ball 49 through 80, you're drawing a team that's going to be in one of the lower leagues. There are a couple teams. Replays end this year. All the controversy. They've got replays in the qualification rounds, so there's still some that are going to be happening there. Hednesford Town, probably the one that's the most interesting at ball number 61. They've got Gateshead, and if they're able to pull that out, they'll be the lowest tier team in the competition if they're able to win. But those are the sort of the teams that are there. For me, I'd like to get one of those 7th or 8th tier teams at home, because I think it's like the away day for them. And I think that would be a fun little change of pace as to how it's been. To go through some of the interesting balls for me anyway, and if you have a different one than this, by all means, let me know. Ball number 13's got Carlisle United at it. Carlisle United, Aaron Hayden is there. Ball number 15 at Cheltenham Town, that's going to be Luke Young, who would end up coming to town. Ball 53, Kettering Town, and these are the 7th tier teams that are still in the competition. So those that aren't in the National League, North or South. Kettering Town is there. Ball 54, if Solihull Motors ends up making its way through by beating Altrincham, they're going to get, we'll see Jordan Tunnicliffe. Ball 55, that's Rochdale. That's got Luke McNicholas, the goalkeeper, who's sitting there, who interestingly hot and cold with the fans as whether he's an amazing goalkeeper or not an amazing keeper. And then you've got, as I said, Hednesford Town at 61 against Gateshead. You've got 7th tier. I'm not even going to pronounce this. I'm going to get this wrong. Somebody want to help me? 63. Ball 63. Do I have a typo? No, I don't. Ball 63 is Guiseley. Guiseley? Whoever they are, 7th tier, and they're going to come there. And then ball 77 would be a lot of fun too. The former captain, Forest Green Rovers, sitting there coming up through qualification rounds. They are in the round 1 proper. We are 15 minutes away from getting through there. There's the draw of things, and as I was talking about, and John was mentioning, I'm going to jump in here and check the chat again just quickly. Hey, W&G, nice to see you. Hopefully not number 5, says Goofy Splat. Let's go up and see ball number 5. Oh, nobody wants Brum. I guess, see, for me, it's one of those things, if you're going to go out with the largest amount of ticket revenue that you can get. Here's the reminder as to why I'm a big fan of the FA Cup and a big push, not just the history. I mean, it's the oldest cup competition around. It gives a prize fund that is massively larger than the EFL Cup. We are sitting in the first round proper. And so you win it, you get 45,000 quid. As a reminder, you win the EFL Cup, you get 100,000. So you're already halfway there just by making it through. And then you've also guaranteed yourself another 20,000. So you're at $65,000, not including the gate receipts. And so that's where the revenues end up turning around. And then third round, obviously, the first round proper, second round proper, you're going to end up seeing the League 1, League 2, and the qualifiers get thinned down substantially until they end up in a group of, 32, I think it is. And then you add all of the Championship and Prem teams at that point in time. Are they adding them all this year, or are they adding just a portion based? It's always based on the European competition. So as a reminder, yes, it's all teams this year. So 24 League 1 teams, 24 League teams, League 2 teams join this round. In the second round, it'll be whittled down from the 88 or 84 teams, 124 teams down to 84 teams. Second round from 84 teams down to 64 teams. And then you're going to get another add-on of 44 teams into the third round. Then they'll just keep whittling it down, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and you end up doing the run. Interesting this year, and somebody who may be more in the know, let me know this. Here's the rules to the FA Cup. And what I've always been fascinated about is it's been 45, 45, and 10. I think they've changed the gate distribution and the gate receipt stuff, and I haven't heard about that. I've been really, really busy with moving and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to bring up the chat in case somebody is in the know. Hey, Sandy. Recovery mode. I get it. Luke M is hurt. There you go. Thanks, John. He set or tied Rochdale's record for 5 consecutive streaks, and now he's injured. Will he have enough time to recover by the time these matches are played into November? That's an interesting question that I obviously... John, more ear to the ground with me and more time following things around with how things are at. Going back to this, Sandy, and you'll have to... I've seen all the pictures. I'm envious. I'm jealous. And I'm going to have to move this over. I'm envious. I'm jealous. And I hope that it was as amazing as it looked, because if it was, then you guys had a blast, and long may Wrexham, or long the Terry Fox run in Wrexham continue. I took part in my first since I was probably, 10, 11, 12, with Jason, who's on his return back from the UK, and my kid had his first, which we lived in. He goes to school in Port Coquitlam, which is Terry Fox's hometown. So Terry Fox secondary is there, Terry Fox recreation center. We are well versed in all of the amazing things that Terry did. And even still, you go to the Terry Fox run in Vancouver and you learn new things all the time, and did certainly on that one. 400 people. I have 400 people in the chat right now, and I'm waiting on lots of people interested in the FA Cup draw, if that's the case. Or you had 400 people for the... That's actually for welcome to, or for the Terry Fox run. That is impressive for a first run, and because I think the Vancouver one we had 3,000 or 4,000, and that one's been going on for years, and there's the destination for where Terry Fox was hoping to get to through the whole thing. So I'm glad that went well for you guys. Going back to the competition rules, I think that they've changed the gate receipts. It has always historically been 45% to each team, 10% to the association for distribution, however they deemed fit. And it seems that they've changed it now. If I scroll up, that it's actually, where does it say? I was looking at it before and now I can't find it. Subject to Rule 223, net gate receipts are going to be divided as follows. Save for the competition matches referred to in 221.2, a semi-final or a final, the net gate receipts shall be divided equally between the competing clubs, and for competition matches from the third round proper on, they're going to give 55% to the teams outside of the Premier League, 45% to the teams in the Premier League. Why do this? Well, I suspect that a big chunk of this was because they got rid of the replays. And they got rid of the replays under the guise that there's so many European competitions going on that they needed to make it easier for the Premier League teams now that they've got a third tier of European... Yeah, I got that, Sandy. Thanks. A third tier of European competitions, which makes more opportunity, more football to be watched, more football to be played. That having the top teams run around in these domestic competitions is now becoming onerous to have these replays. And so, but the criticism obviously is it is a lifeblood for the lower teams. I've shown you the prize funds. If you are a 6th tier, 5th tier, 7th tier team, starting to get into 45,000 quid, 75,000 quid is close to your budget for the season. It is a massive turnaround. It gives an opportunity for those teams. It's saved teams historically. And when you get the gate receipts on top of that, at least 45%, you can have... there are massive rewards to help those lower teams go up there. So the new rules seem to have been changed to allow, hey, if you're a lower tier team and you make it into the third round, you're going to get 55% of the gate receipts. What's missing here, or what hasn't been here, is the 10% that went to the association for distribution. Those appear to me to only happen if I scroll down on the semifinals and the finals, where you can see the distribution here. 5.5% of net gate receipts from each semifinal and final shall be remitted to the association for distribution to the affiliated associations. And then 234 says you're going to have the divide to the pool. The pool is a further distribution. I don't know why they've got the 233 as we're going to remit some to association for distribution, then we're going to have some to the pool, and then they define pool as money to be distributed. But in any event, they've changed the formation, the formula. But what hasn't changed is the fact that There's money to be made here, and it's a historical event, and we get to go through them. So jumping back into the chat, the poll says 43% looking for a lower league team, and that's where I'm at with this. Is I would like to have, for two reasons. I would like to have a lower tier team that's a winnable game, so that we can end up advancing through and getting into the prize fund, and there it sits, and that's the big goal for me. Take it as far as you can. Run it as with your best club as long as you can. Unlike, it's different in League Two and in the National League, where this competition we were so pressurized to win the league that the FA Cup could have been a distraction. But now that we're in League One, for me, getting promotion isn't a must-have. It's a desire. It's a want. It would be amazing, but it's not a must-have. We're not a top spending. We are closer to the top, but we're not the top spending team. We've still got stuff back of house to fix. The COP announcements come out. You've got the academy that's still in perpetual development. Those things have to get fixed and corrected for the sustainability of the club long term. And so this is an opportunity for the club to end up doing its things. Replays were half the fun, and that's the one kicker with Wrexham, one of the only clubs that didn't come out with criticism, right, Al, is when they got rid of the replays. There were small clubs that if they were hosting a large club, they got to invite Manchester City into their small little stadium of 1,000 people. And so it's nice. It's to say it's tiring for the top flight teams. It's crap. It's their job, really. You wouldn't expect a surgeon to operate twice a week and train the other 5. And Al, I'm 100% with you. And the other thing is, run your B squad. If you're really worried about, look, I want to focus on the Premier League and qualifying because we're near the top of the table there, so we're going to try and chance a little bit and put a B squad out up against Dagenham and Redbridge in the third round, then go ahead and do that. So I think that's the consensus, is everybody just doesn't want Brum away. So at least in the first 2 rounds. And the draw has sort of chinched us a little bit. We've been really good at drawing championship clubs. I want to see Wrexham pull a heavy hitter. Third round are on. And so I just think that for those smaller clubs, and you saw it last year with the runs at some of the teams. Oh, you see it every year. There's a different handful of lower tier clubs that get into the third round, and they start to get some fun for their lower tiered struggling club that's trying to make ends meet, and all of a sudden they're off to wherever, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle. It doesn't matter, one of those larger ones. So TNH, as I understand it, the FA Cup rights are still held by Sportsnet. So unlike the US, it can stay with Paramount and everything is to one group. These will not be available on iFollow, and they will be on Sportsnet Plus. And the challenge of that is last year that they only cover some of the televised games, and so there is a distinct opportunity that we may not end up getting it. And then you've got to get creative. As the live draw is starting soon, I've got the music playing in my ear, and they're playing this. I put it onto my phone down below, so I'm going to be staring awkward. We'll bring the balls up again here just to have another look at everything. Nobody wants ball number 5. Is that basically it? Whatever other balls that are out there that you don't want. Will the draw start on time? It's usually pretty good starting on time. The problem is it doesn't load up right away, or it didn't automatically last year for me, and I was sitting here talking about things and the draw happened. So the link is above. You can go there, you can watch it along with us, and we'll see where they're at. We are watching. I'm going to go back to this one. Oh, wrong one. Wrong button. Brendan's not here, and so this is how it's going to have to be. And now I was going to bring up my screenshot, but it's going to be too big. We are live. We are fixing things on the fly as we're looking at ball number 47 for us. Wedge my head in here just in the right angle, and away we go. How are you, Alex? ESPN still has the FA Cup, so everybody's going to be moving around a little bit all over the place, and so we'll figure that out. LivesoccerTV.com is the website again, livesoccertv.com, they've got all of the FA Cup stuff. Follow along with there. We'll be in a panic. Stay tuned. Follow along with the post. As soon as I find out there or on Twitter, I will be letting everybody know how to get that. And yes, the games drawn today are played 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of November. That's another poll we could run. Do we want to have a Saturday with the mob, or do we want to have a Friday or a Sunday? It's on YouTube, Bryn. Oh, and it's on BBC. Isn't it on BBC? Let me just go back to the channel and I'll read the top. Here it says BBC 2 from 7 p.m. the evening, hosted by Bradford. So you should be able to get a BBC 2, and it is slowly but surely. The wife makes it so. So it will be coming back. So yeah, BBC 2 in the UK, YouTube, everywhere else, as they've got the live draw starting soon down below. If you do get this before the ball drops, let us know, or just stay off on the chat and let everybody figure it out before we all end up talking. Always love the FA Cup. Just got tickets for Charlton away and Port Vale. So for me, any Northern club we have not played for a while, that'll do for you. Yeah, and that's a geographical consideration as well, right? Do you want to have... I mean, Shrewsbury's probably too close, and nobody really wants that. Although maybe a winnable game. We were, as the poll says, we said lower league team. It should say maybe winnable game. But are there other teams in the north that we haven't played in a while? The joy of being in the National League and then moving forward is we've kind of seen a heavy run of things. I do like the idea of Carlisle United and Aaron Hayden. He's probably got a bee in his bonnet. The ownership group there, I think, bought it hoping that they'd be able to ride the Wrexham wave, and then they passed us going north-south. So that would be an interesting matchup for the North American reasons in any event. Then there's a whole bunch of National League teams that are still down there that would be interesting, right? Boreham Wood, Sutton's down there now, who's made their way up. FGR with Tozer. It's still going to be fun. So you'll have to... I mean, we're watching. 49 and above, we've got a lower tier team, and we'll all figure it out live before we end up taking off. Let me know also if you've got the stream running, because it should be starting here in a minute. I'm still getting the music in my ear. Just watching the chat on that is fascinating. Lots of Charlton fans and a fair amount of Wrexham making their comments at the odd Bradford. There's one that I don't want. I don't want Bradford. Chester was the dream draw. Yeah, if we end up drawing ball 56, we'll be able to ask what was, right? Because 56 Scarborough Athletic had Chester on a replay. And Scarborough, I think it was 4-1. Do I have that right? Wasn't even close at the end of the day. Chester FC, and hope this doesn't break my computer by putting this in. 3-1. 3-1 away. It's still starting soon. And I've got the live draw starting soon music. So the poll is there. Let that one go. Lower league team. Looks like people are hoping to advance through. Prize fund, as a reminder, will bring the ball back up. And then the sudden change in the rules that I wasn't expecting. We are here. Rotherham, I'm going to try and get that done. Personally, where things are at, it's mass chaos, and my wife is amazing. Like, the room is a mess around here. As we've been packing, I've been on kid duty and she's been on packing duty, and she's enjoyed it. She's like, it's like I'm a teenager again, packing up the house just with kid stuff as the music's blasting in the background and she's throwing the things in boxes, and I'm going to run the kids out here for Thanksgiving, and that's how I'm spending it. So this is my quick little interlude, and then back on kid duty, and then I will be here Sunday, as I only have 3 more weekends in this place, and then hopefully on a Saturday, the 9th, I will have everything set up in a room upstairs to be able to go live from the unfinished, entirely empty. And BBC's on now, airing the draw. We're still waiting on YouTube. And so if you do get the ball before us, no comments, don't spoil it. You can put it in the chat. You can get it already. And we'll have to wait for us to go through this, as we're waiting on live draw starting soon. Only 2,000 people joining the FA Cup draw, and I think they do a horrible job on their YouTube. Like, they should have brought it forward. Instead, it sits in the live, so you got to go and find it. 92, the last time a non-premiership team won the FA Cup, 32 years. There's stats, and obviously the FA Cup gets you your spot in Europe, right? And so it changes the top of the table and how you end up having to perform. And You guys are getting excited. I'm still nervous. I may end up hosting a watch along and not actually get to watch along for the second year in a row as I'm listening to the music playing in the background. If you've got it on YouTube, let me know. I'm going to hit the refresh button out of an abundance of caution. No, I'm getting the same thing. It says I'm live. And so we will wait. Hayden's, John, is everybody that's away and has left injured? Davis is injured. Davis is injured in Grimsby Town. Hayden's injured in Carlisle. The goalkeeper is injured in Rochdale. Everybody's whacked out. It's on BBC Two now. Well, this is making me angry. Because how do I end up watching this if they're going to just give me this? And the music. I mean, I just probably look weird. He tweaked his calf. I guess not a surprise, right? McNicholas was the keeper, by the way. No, it's McNicholas. Hall's somewhere. No, where did Liam go again? John, trivia question. Liam Hall, where did he end up playing right now? Oh. Is he still with us? Training? But Luke McNicholas went away. He is still training with us. They're just interviewing Bradford City right now. Well, that's fine. I don't need to hear that. Oh, the music has changed and no, it just came back. If you're joining us late, I went through this earlier. The FA Cup, obviously very different than the EFL Cup and certainly than the EFL Trophy. The only benefit really of the trophy is if you make it to Wembley and you end up getting those attendance draws. The EFL Cup, it's not being protested, so you've got the gate receipt that you can end up sharing. But other than that, the big prize money only ever happens in the final, where you get 100,000 quid to the winner. The FA Cup, far remarkably different, in that in the fourth round, and I'm going to bring this up, in the fourth round, for the 40 winners in the fourth round, you're going to get 45,000 quid. And even for just taking part, you get 15,000. Not a bad day out, and especially if you're considering you can make it to the second round and lose, put your 65,000 quid, and you're almost damn well near what the winners of the EFL Cup are going to get. So, and that's not including the attendance revenue that's there to be shared. Again, I went through earlier, they've swapped, it looks like to me, the rules with respect to the distribution of the funds, doing that because they got rid of replay. And John, your poll was right. They're not going to get this started on time. That's fine. What else are we doing on a Thanksgiving Monday in Canada for those of us that are here? But there's the receipts that have been changed out is in respect of any competition match. Net gate receipts means the total VAT calculated with respect to Rule 241. And they've got that broken down there. But it says, division of the gate receipts. 55, save for the competition matches below the semifinal and the net gate receipts, they shall be divided equally between the competing clubs. And so the split 50-50, and then once you hit the third round proper, it's split 55-45 if you have a team that is outside of the Premier League, or outside of, the Premier League or the EFL that is competing in the competition. So it's 45% to the lower league teams, the lower tiers, 45% if you make it to the third round. And add a little bonus to try to make up for the fact that they've ripped the replays out to get some added revenue to those lower tier squads. We're still waiting 5 minutes after the hour. I'm assuming they're doing all of the Bradford City preview stuff, and apparently they decided that the international fans don't want to watch it. We just want to hear the beats. I'm going to go and make sure it's not scrolling through. If you're on YouTube and you've picked it up, then you'll let me know what you've got. Hurry up. Doesn't sound like it's going. Stop time wasting. ball number 14. So we're still waiting for that one to go through. I'm going to just click over here to make sure that it's not being missed on my end. Always funny, the FA Cup. Last year they ended up running it, and I missed the whole damn thing by the time I found out it was running. But I'm going to bring this up here and see if it's playing in the background. And no, it's doing the same thing. So we wait. What balls are you looking for, guys? There's going to be some of you watching them. For me, if I have to pick a ball, give us 61. And then we can watch and hope for the Hednesford Town team to take out Gateshead. I'd also like Gainsbury Trinity or Boston United just because, John, then you'd have Wrexham versus Boston. That would be fun. Good stuff. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's got the same annoying music to go. Those would be the teams. The 7th tier team, that would be a lot of fun. And I imagine those squads are going to come in with the same sort. Any balls beyond 14 at home. That's a good way to look at it. I would take that. Woking. Why Woking, W&G? That's got to be a U reason. I mean, there's some great named teams that are still in this competition, right? Tonbridge Angels. And these are teams that if I haven't seen them in through the National League and all the way up, I don't know of them. I mean, there are some exceptions, obviously. Weston Supermare, Dag and Red. Those that have had more recent history while we've been down there. Peterborough Sports. How would that be for a draw? Let's pull Peterborough Sports 49 and 35. Would be a fun little one to end up drawing as well, wouldn't it? Peterborough Sports against Peterborough United. Posh. Yeah, non-league clubs, that's kind of where I'm at. And I'd like to go lowest tier as possible at home just because, they're going to be bringing in the mob. I would assume that Rob and Ryan will probably put them on the documentary to give them some coverage. Oh, and I should say this, little James McLean smooch for you if you're after it. Who else would I take? Rochdale was the last. Rochdale and Doncaster are the last EFL clubs that I watched, but Rochdale was in League One at that point in time. So I've always been interested, and they looked like garbage then, and I know that was 5-6 years ago, but it'd still be fascinating to end up watching. Can we get to the draw next time? I'm running this only 10 minutes early so that we can talk about the whole run through of things as it's live. Because I'd like to just get a little snippet of where things are at. We're here on Saturday, for the Rotherham game. I'm still hoping to do the Who Are You series. Things are starting to normalize. I had submissions due on last week. I had a summary trial. All that's now gone. I can find some time in between the packing and the taking of the kids. So I'm hoping I can squeak in some time for Who Are You. We will see. But we will certainly be here. Oof, Mikey. I think that's a curse word. Wrexham at home to Notts. To me, the Notts thing is the ship has sailed, right? A rival due to competition, but not a rival due to geography or history. I'm happy to watch that one fade away. MK Dons versus Wimbledon would be a great draw. Yes, Wealdstone. See, and now I'm interested. For those of you, this is probably personal reasons, right? Why Wealdstone? Most of the ones that I would have a personal interest in are actually all South Yorkshire squads, because it's where, like Rotherham, that's where my aunt-in-law, Auntie Juice, by the way, how are you? She probably doesn't watch very often, probably not watching this one, but that's her home, so got a bit of an affinity for Rotherham, got a bit of an interest in Doncaster. And so those would be the two that I have. Knott's rivalries run its course. Port Vale would be cool, though. Yeah, except we've played them so much recently in cups, right? Like, we're going to have them again in the trophy. We had them last year, and now, finally, we're getting the 74 ties run in the semi-final, and the ad is doing its thing, and we're going to be quick once we get through this. I wonder if this year they're doing how they're going to run this one. Jump right straight back into it. Man, I do love me my FA Cup. So starting now, good things. Thanks, Swirly, for letting us know. UK TV's interviewing. They're about to start and get it underway. We're watching the preview as Man City, Man U rivalry jumping all around the first round draw. Let's get into it. I'm going to leave the balls up here while nobody wants to look at my ugly mug big on the YouTube. So let's keep this up. Kelly Summers as the host. Let's get into it. Give us the tiniest remaining minnows at home all the way through to the 5th round, then have Man U visit the racecourse. David Wood has devised the master plan. Do you want 5th round with Man U coming to the racecourse? Wouldn't it not be better to go to, like, any Prem team, 5th round, gate receipts, win or lose, you're just having a blast? But yeah, that's... Oh, they're spamming the chat, too, if you're following along with the Bring Back FA Cup replays. I'll get rid of the chat. R-Ball 47. I could have brought that up, and I guess let's go here. R-Ball 47. I'll go back to the balls as they start to come through. That's the one that we're looking for. If you're in the description, there's some additional ones there that have some potential intrigue as to where they're at. And when they come, I'll rattle it in the wiki, and we can sit here and you guys can tell me, what do you know about the clubs that the club that we end up drawing? And what do we think of the draw as we go through it? And we'll do a poll for John to everybody have his say. Merlin, how are you? Joining right in time. Now at the podium. Yeah, we're there. I'm sitting there staring. They're spinning the ball. If you find out before we do, just hold off. Hold off. Let it be exciting for everybody. And then we can all start to chat about it. More than 10 minutes late would have won the poll. And what do you get? A pin. An Old Halls wrapper. A box of Clamato juice. Happy Thanksgiving. Didn't we, not in a League Cup, but didn't we play Port Vale? Let's go. I'm going to need this website anyway, so let's go here while you guys can see me doing it live. Wrexham AFC archive. If you haven't been to this webpage, by the way, by all means, go and check this place out, because whether it's players, whether it's teams, you can get all the details about when they've played, their last historical matches, and the whole 9 yards. And you end up clicking past meetings, and we played them in the EFL Trophy last year, and we've got them coming up this year. So other than that, it's been, yes, 2007. But bring on the poutine. What is Clamato juice? Oh, man, it's what you put in beer and what you put in a Caesar. It's what we gave to Rich Fay when he was in Vancouver with some vodka and some gin, and you put it in. It is a tomato-based drink. Think tomato juice, but add clam broth to it. Well, obviously strained. It's not chunky, but it's clam seasoning that goes into it. It is delicious. It is fascinating. It goes great with beer. It goes great with gin. It goes great with vodka. You add some Worcestershire sauce and some Tabasco and Worcester sauce and some Tabasco and salt the rim, and it's delicious. Nasty additive Sean loves to use his booze, and there we go. Balls are in. We're well behind because we're still sitting there looking at the selected ball numbers. So you guys over in the UK watching on BBC Two sound like you're probably about 15 seconds as the balls are just being picked up and being dropped in now. So if you find out before everybody else, don't do it. It is yummy, Reese, but probably more so just because you've got FOMO and you can't have it. Balls are in. That's what she said. All right, hands are in. No, that's even scarier. Let's see. So just the reminder, we'll bring it up. Ball 47 is who we're looking for, and I think the standard is we don't want 5. Rotherham. So we're looking for 5 to go out, and we won't get Cheltenham. And Cheltenham was Luke Young there, so that was one of the draws that I identified as kind of hoping for. Barrow at home. No, Donny. Man, that's Rotherham and Donny handled early, and now everybody else knows where I'm at. Worthing at home. 6-tier team. Morecambe. Wrexham, the last two EFL and the FA Cup draw, picked very, very early. Boreham Wood at home. Like anytime I see a high number, I'm okay with 47 coming out, even if it is away. I mean, I'm at this point in time, I'm not gonna get that picky. Exeter City at home. Do not want. Do not want. Thank you. I just don't want a League One squad away. It would be the worst draw. 13. Would be an interesting one, but a little stiffer than I'd like. Whoo, got close. Tamworth. Like I said, anytime I see a ball higher than 48 come out, I'm in. I would prefer to have us come out as a 47 right now as a home squad. Hartlepool United or Brackley playing a replay. Ooh. Guaranteed to have a lower tier team in the second round just with that right in of itself. Curzon Ashton. Brum's still in it, as are we. I hate to say it. Ooh. Right around us. York. And I still think the perfect draw, would it not be 56 in Scarborough Athletic? Bradford City at home. Don't pick us. I'm done with Bradford City. Thank you. Interesting draws is all I'm going to say. 61. Hednesford Town. This is the low to 8th tier team, and they are going to end up getting Gainsborough Trinity or Boston United. Oh, get to the good stuff already. And get rid of 5. Burton Albion at home. Oh, there goes Scarborough Athletic. That would have been the ball that would have got us Chester if Chester could actually win a game. Ooh. Tranmere. Oh, man. How's that for a derby? 47? Going on the road to Tranmere? That would have been fun. Oldham Athletic instead. Would have caused some madness. The chat's gone quiet. Everybody else is glued into this as well. I do Rochdale. Bromley. Brum. Is it going to be Brum? Walsall. All the 40s around us, Tranmere, Walsall, Wigan, Wickham, they're all gone. Oh, Grimsby, that would have been fun if Jordan Davis was still around. But not with us. Getting lighter on the balls. Yeah, it's starting to get a little nervy here, isn't it? Don't want Brum. Weston Supermare. Oh, the Don's boring. Don't do it. Oh! Wimbledon and the Dons? All right. Well, that'll be on TV. We know that one for sure. Yeah, that could have been McAlinden, right? Potentially, if they ended up getting out. Reese called it 42. All the 40s are disappearing. Pull a 5 just so that we can get that out of the way and start to enjoy the draw. God. MK and Wimbledon. Woo! baby. Reading. Oh, man, that's... Everybody's into it. Stevenage. Oh, my God. We're starting to get to the point, like, it's a 1 in 10 shot here now of pulling Brum. Northampton Town. Notts is still in there. Do a 47. We still have FGR still in this, don't we? 43. Charlton. Oh, Colchester. No 5 yet. No 47. This is like the longest time we've waited for a Wrexham ball, and since I've been doing these live watch-alongs in any event. 40 Shrewsbury. How about 40-47? Where are we going to Shrewsbury? Ay. No. Dagon Red starting to worry here. You guys are still ahead too, so you bite your tongue. Remember, we're still waiting on YouTube, so don't spoil it if you end up hearing exactly who we get. But you look at the number of balls that are down there, and there ain't a lot of them. 74. This is the football gods, is what it is. It's starting to feel like this is the football gods. 16. Chesterfield. Brother-in-law used to play there. We're still waiting, Giselle. Still waiting. Birmingham, Charlton, are Cambridge United, Crawley, Gillingham. We're running low on the top tier teams. 14. Charlton Athletic. Who do they get? Oh, my word. I got to move this phone just out of... Don't tell us. There's hardly any balls left. 64. $18. It's fascinating to me. Harrogate. I mean, it's at this point in time, there's only like 4 teams that are below. There it is. Wrexham. Harrogate. Oh, Sandy, you spoiled it. Harrogate Town. On the road. I can just recycle the old who are you from last year, right? Do I do that now? Harrogate Town. Let's go to this. Let's go to past meetings, and I'll bring up Harrogate Town just so we can talk about it. Not a really... The fascinating thing about Harrogate is that was a team that we'd struggled with last year. If I'm going off of the top of my head, but if I recall correctly, we couldn't score. We went there and had an ugly game, and then we had them come back, and I think they're one of the only clubs that did the double against us. Was it last year? Past meetings? No, 2 draws. 0-0. 0-0 at home and 2-2 away. We haven't beat them. And so we will see. But I'm okay with that. That's a happy one. Not real any magic in it, is there? It's kind of a whole-hum draw. Certainly don't get any excitement whether you would have had a derby, whether you would have had like MK Dons at Wimbledon. The Wombles is going to be a fascinating one. But yeah, I mean, to me, I'm good. I'm good. Harrogate. Next time I'll put it in the chat that we're way behind. I was getting the feeling anyway. I picked up the phone in advance and started staring at it and put my head down because I was like, there's only like 12 teams that are left and I want the surprise. So Harrogate Town FC, I'll just bring this up right here. That's our previous matches with them head-to-head. We've only had, going back to 2018, that's all we've had. We had the 2 with them last time. 0-0. I'm going to take this. Get rid of that one. 0-0 at home, and then when it went on the road, or sorry, it was the inverse. It was 2-2 on the away first. I remember that game. It was just boring. It was an ugly, scrappy, uneventful, nothing really out of it sort of game, and was really the start, I think, of the real big questions about our away performance last year. Enjoy it, John. Thanks for joining. 1st to the 4th of November is when they'll be played. We'll find out. And as a first round draw goes, I mean, you don't want to pull a League One squad. We've had enough of that. So you pull a League Two squad that you just didn't beat last year. But what did they say? They're 18th overall in the table right now. We did play them in the FA Cup back in 21-22. Harrogate Town knocking us out November 6th, 2021. That was with Phil, Power, and Orsi. Ponticelli with the goal. And you look at the roster, and it's just fascinating to go back to 2021 and be like, there has been so much turnover. Obviously, you see Leighton there. You see Hayden, Tozer, Davis, Jones, Young, McAlinden, all sitting there. You'll go to the Bryce Hosanna, but for a lot of us, Bickerstaff, the names, this is where the changes therein soon occurred, right? But historically, they've done all right with us, against us. We've won 2, drawn 2, and had a loss. They've obviously won 1, then drawn. That's at home. Away, we've won once. We've only won once in 5 games away from home in Harrogate. So something to be said there. Hold. And that's exactly, I guess, what the message is, right? Yeah, WG saying, and I said, ho hum, that's what you want, though. I think we've got a much better squad, but for the reasons I just went over, we struggled with them last year. We lost against them in the FA Cup in 2021. We've only beat them once away out of our 5 meetings that we've been there. And so we'll see how it goes. And it just reminded me, I could be wrong. And maybe I should bring up the last year's season as to, but my feeling was we were playing relatively well in advance of those Harrogate games. And in both times we had just brutal outcomes. And wasn't impressed. So I would have liked to have seen the non-league club, and I'm with Swirly sort of here that is unfortunate, because I would have loved to have seen those clubs get an opportunity with the marketing power and the push that is Wrexham to get to know some of those. But it's going to be the Dons and the Wimbledon match is clearly the highlight of the first round, right? That one will be fun to watch. I might have to do a neutral watch along if I can do that. So if you're in the US, ESPN. If you're in Canada, it's going to be on Sportsnet. Sportsnet Plus, probably, and we'll have to figure out what that is. And so that's a $39 a month expense for Canadian, so like basically like 2 pence in the UK. So we'll get all those details out as we go through. Last time it took me forever, and I ended up thinking I watched a dodgy link is how it ended up having to work. So in any event, we are here Sunday. Let's bring this out. We are here, not Sunday, Saturday. We are here Saturday for the Rotherham match. As we get into that one, I'm hoping to do Who Are You? It's still mass chaos here. We move in November 8th. We take possession on Thursday. No, sorry, Friday. It completes on Thursday. We take possession on Friday. We will be in the house and starting the renovation work. Get that stuff all started and going. We're third packed in the house here. And so it's all over the place. I've got the internet guys all scheduled to go in on the 8th with the hopes that on the 9th I will have internet. If not, I could be at a coffee shop doing it, or maybe in the office, figuring out how to make all that stuff work as we move mid-season and unpack boxes and all that sort of fun stuff. So Rotherham, we're definitely there for that. We will be, the watch parties will be a go. It's the question is whether the Who Are Yous will get done in time. And I apologize for that. It's tough. Work is better, so that's good. I appreciate all of you guys signing up and joining and sliding in for this one. It's been fun. Yeah, the FA Cup brings in a different beast, doesn't it? And that's the magic of it. Is as much as I don't want to have a League One squad, because we've seen everybody this year, and League Two, I mean, we saw most of them last year, so it's a little bit less exciting. I was hoping for a lower tier this time, but at the same time, I just want to carve an easy path to get through to the third round and then hopefully we can get the easier draws and mark our way through until we get a big day out, and that's what I'm hoping for. But it's been fun. I'm going to look at those rules of the game. I'm going to look at the new cop a little bit more if I get an opportunity. I've got 100,000 ideas. If you want to get involved, Deandra, massive applause, thanking her for carrying the women's matches and holding those down, and for Brendan and assisting and facilitating. But if you want to get into like a little bit of like the graphic design stuff, if you want to end up doing a little bit of a thing on with helping me out, the Who Are You series, you want to look at some aspect of the regulations or the players or the teams or the characters that are in League One, send me a message, and hopefully we can figure all that sort of stuff out. The Wrexham community and a travel guide, I don't know, something along those lines, Sandy. If you wanted to do something like that, walking around and taking a bunch of videos and getting to say, like, for all of us, I've really never seen anybody walking into the Mesguin, or the turf, yes, but not the whole downtown, other than pictures and all that sort of stuff. So having somebody put something together might be another opportunity for if somebody wants to do lots of ideas. And if you're interested, let me know. The Red Horde, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for joining us for the first round draw. Harrogate is the end outcome, and we'll see you for that one. Saturday, Rotherham, be there. Watch party. Okay.